Hi everybody. So this is a slightly different location. My cat is very old and he's kind of struggling right now, and he was taking a nap and I just didn't want to be down there keeping him awake, because usually if I'm down in his area, he feels, he's like, oh, I have to get the attention, I have to get the love, I have to be in your business. And so yeah, I was like, I really want him to sleep if he needs it, because yeah. Anyways, so I am like upstairs in my dining room and I look really tired because I am really tired and cold. I was out in my pottery studio, and about half of the bump cups that I'd made needed to be trimmed, and I knew they were getting close, but I wasn't expecting them to be done today. And like I said, only about half of them were done, but I didn't want them to be too dry when I went to go trim the other ones. So I kind of just did half now, and then I'll do half tomorrow. So that probably means I'm not going to get as much writing done today. And I'm also probably going to have to skip my poems and prompts and stuff for today and tomorrow, just to make sure I have enough time to actually work on my draft. In the pottery, it's really hard sometimes to balance both of these creative endeavors. Hopefully we can get quite a few words done. The plus side is I actually did get a lot of writing done this weekend. So I'm sitting at about 47,000 words, and the goal is like 60. And I'm pretty sure I can make like the 60,000 by the end of this week. My only problem is whether I can actually finish the draft by the end of this week. But if I don't end up finishing the draft, it'll be very, very close. But I really want to finish it. I just want to get started on the next draft already. I know what I want to do with it. I know how I'm changing the plot. I know what scenes I'm removing. And so it's hard to be in this in-between stage where I'm trying to get just this first draft done all the way through, because I feel like if I get it done all the way through, I'll have even better idea of what to keep and what not to keep, or what scenes I might need to add, or what foreshadowing I might need to add. So yeah. My battery is dying on my camera, so that's going to be hard to do any of the things I planned today. So my mugs ended up not needing to be trimmed today. They're just drying so much slower than what they normally do during the summer. So those aren't quite done today, which is kind of what I was planning on doing. I knew I needed to finish those up because I still have about half of the bump cups still needing to be trimmed. But then I was thinking, I'll get a ton of writing done, I'll get a ton of vlogging done, maybe take some pictures because it's really nice today. And the natural light coming in from my windows, I haven't gotten a lot of that lately, and it takes the best pictures for my pottery and stuff. Yeah, I don't really use ring lights or anything like that. It just creates too much glare on my pottery and stuff, so I find that just the natural light coming in through the window works the best. But all of that's going to be hard to do with my battery dying. So I think maybe what I'll do is I'll write first. I think that's what we'll do. We'll just do some writing, and then hopefully we can charge my battery while I'm doing that. And then maybe I can get some pictures in, do a little bit more vlogging. I did kind of want to tell you all about how my D&D session went and kind of the things I learned, because I do have some it's been a while since I've done a session, and there were some things I learned and some things that I want to do better for the next time. So I actually did make myself some notes and kind of wanted to talk about my thoughts with running that session and kind of going forward, the little tweaks and stuff that I'm going to do to try to make it more immersive, to make it more fun for my characters and stuff. Not to say they didn't have fun. They did. They actually had a blast, and they wanted to keep going even though I was super tired and wasn't making any sense. Like, I was done, but they still wanted to keep going, so that's a good sign. It's a good sign. I'm just more of a morning person, so playing that late into the night, like, I usually just like 10 o'clock I hit a point where I'm just like done. Let's just get some writing in really quick. Sorry, this is my daughter singing, but we're gonna get some writing in really quick, get my battery charged, and then I'll probably do some product photography for my mugs and do some more vlogging and kind of tell you how that Dungeons and Dragons session went and just how I'm going to improve the next time, or at least work to improve the next time. I did get like 2,000-ish words total, which isn't bad. That's really good, and I hit my goal for today. So I did actually end up writing a poem as well. I really want to do a portal fantasy. I don't know if I'll get to it anytime soon, but I do want to write a portal fantasy or some kind of thing to do with fairy tales. It's kind of an idea I've been toying with, like retelling fairy tales and stuff. I enjoy a good fairy tale retelling, and I think it would be fun to write a fairy tale retelling. I mean, technically, Songs of Roses kind of happened from me reading a fairy tale, but it's not really a retelling of the Snow Queen, so I'm not gonna market it that way. But I did get inspiration from the fairy tale. So anyways, I was thinking about toying with the idea of it being a portal fantasy and it being fairy tale retellings. I haven't worked out any kind of idea for it besides that, but I did write a poem because the prompt was space between, so I kind of just wrote a poem based off of like kind of from the idea of where did all these fairy tales come from. Maybe there's more to the world than what we think, you know. Maybe in the space in between there's something we don't know about. Be the reason or the thought behind why fairy tales and magic and dragons and unicorns, why we have all these ideas and why we use them and why we even have the ideas for them, I guess. I don't know. Because I really like, you know, I really want to play with the idea of like the never-ending story, or I don't know if you guys have seen the 10th Kingdom. Kind of just this idea that there's this whole nother world based off stories, or a whole nother world that the stories are based off of. I really like that idea, and I think it would be really fun to write something from that perspective. Also, Mercedes Lackey's 500 Kingdoms. I really like how she handles like the fairy tale retellings. I thought was really cool. It's not a very good poem, but you know, I don't know. I've noticed that I've been using these prompts in these poems and stuff to kind of write out ideas that I want to write, you know, books that I want to write, or things that I just don't have the time for right now, or that I just can't do right now, you know. So yeah, it's just another one of those. And then also, really quick, I wanted to talk about the Dungeons and Dragons campaign. So it went really well. Like, they loved it. They had so much fun. There was so many character moments. It was beautiful. It's so fun when you have a party that really likes role-playing. Just the things they get up to, the antics. I have one particular character who goes out of her way to cause chaos, and I play into that. Her patron actually does that and gives her things to do to create the chaos. And so that was really fun because her patron gave her something that kind of caused problems for the after party they had, and it created some drama, and that was fun. And you know, it was just a lot of like character interactions, great character moments, great role playing. It was great. It was an amazing session. And I think it'll probably be one of the best episodes that I have for that. I mean, there's also the other episode about the camel. I don't know if you guys noticed, but on my Notion board there's a bit like about a camel, because there's like this really funny bit between a lot of the characters role playing where some of them have never seen what a camel is, and then some of them have, and so they sit there trying to describe what a camel looks like to the others, and it was hilarious. Anyways, it was a great role playing moment. There's some awesome ones in this campaign, but this particular one I think is gonna be up there for like favorite sessions, I think, for me. But some things that I noticed that some things I need to work on with doing the role playing and stuff is I want to try to be better about not reading off my notes. I notice when I want like my characters to say a particular thing and stuff, I tend to read off my notes a little bit more than I'd like, and it doesn't come off as organically or as personable as I want it to, just because I'm worried I'm not saying it right or that it'll come off wrong. And so I think what I'm going to do when writing my notes is not give myself as much to say, like maybe just put like a word or two in my notes for like words or names that I want them to mention when they're talking, but then trying to push myself to do a lot more improv, off the cuff kind of conversations and stuff, so it seems more realistic, because I do tend to read off my notes a little too much. Is one of the things I noticed. The other thing is that I'm not very good at like reward systems. You know, like how much money they're supposed to get via their level or what they've done, and things like that, like the treasure rewards and stuff, I'm not very good at, and I don't really get how to do it very well. So that's something I want to improve on. I felt like I didn't give them enough money for what they did, and I felt like they were disappointed in that. So I definitely want to fix that going forward. And then also I want to, like, maybe I could just increase the amount they get the more trials they do, so it doesn't look weird that they got this amount for this trial or this amount for that trial. Or maybe countries give them different amounts. I don't know. I'll have to think about it, think about how I want to handle that. And then yeah, so doing more improv with the conversations, the reward system, and also with that, there is something that they have coming up in the next session where I can give them a little bit more treasure to make up for it, to make up for them not getting very much this time. But they are a little overpowered, so it's like it's a hard balance. It's like I can't give them too many crazy items. I noticed that also something to think about if you're looking at DMing is you need to know whether or not your party hoards items or whether they're more of a sells items kind of person, like party. Because my party, I give them these items expecting them to sell them so they'll have money, and I've come to realize that they just hoard them. They hoard them until they need them, and they just keep all the items, and nobody ever really sells any of the magical items they get. So that is also something I need to keep in mind going forward, is that if I want them to have the money, I need to make it more gold related and less magical item related, unless they're asking for a specific magical item or they need something or whatever. Like, I usually am pretty lax about providing things that they want for their characters within reason, and so I'm gonna have to do that, is like provide more gold, less magical items. And I'm trying to think of what else. I find that when they're having so much fun, it's hard for me to be like, now we're done now. Oh no, this session's over. Oh no, we're gonna end it there. I'm very bad at it. When they're having fun and stuff, I don't want to stop, even though I know that I should, because I am so a morning person, like morning, afternoon, and then like the later it gets, the harder time I have. And I was having a conversation with one of the players, and I misspoke and like said the wrong thing, didn't make any sense. There was a couple of slip-ups with character names just because I was getting tired. And so that's another thing, is I need to be better at being like, nah, we gotta be done here, guys, because I'm at my limit, you know. And then yeah, it's just building up endurance for it, because like it's been months since I've done it, and wow, I was just done the next day. like just trying to keep track of all the characters and all the interactions I wanted everybody to have, and role-playing all those people, and having all the events happen that needed to, and the magical items that needed to, and the conversations that needed to happen. It was just a lot, and I ended up basically having a crash day the next day. That, and we went a little later than I intended. So yeah, I ended up kind of crashing the next day, so I'll have to keep that in mind, is kind of just stopping, trying to build up my endurance, doing a little bit more role-playing, less reading off my notes, and fixing how I was doing the treasure, because that did not work. So yeah, otherwise it was a great session, and they had a lot of fun, and they're really super excited about the next session. And the best part for me is I'm a major plotter. I just love the intrigue, foreshadowing, giving them little hints about things that could be happening, and like I give them a lot of hints. They don't even pick up on everything that I give them. And anyways, this last session they started theory crafting. Like, they were just like, why is this happening? What is going on with these queens? Like, and they were just like, well, what about this and what about this? And then like they were theory crafting with each other, and it was just, it made me happy. It made me so excited that they were so into this story that they were crafting their own theories about what was going on and what was going to happen next. And it was really cute too, because my husband went to visit 2 of the other players, and I guess they spent like a half an hour just talking about the session. So at least did something right? Yeah, so I'm excited. I'm excited that that was going well and that they're enjoying it so much, because that's, I mean, personally, in my opinion, that is the DM's job. You know, like, I mean, I do have my own story to tell, and I do have my own characters and things I want to say, but at the end of the day, it really is about the players and whether or not they're having fun, you know? And they did, and it was great. So I was pretty excited about that. Hey everybody, so yeah, I'm hanging out here again. I just haven't brought myself to take my computer back downstairs. My cat's still not doing super great. We have a vet appointment for him, but he has some struggles with the vet, so it kind of takes us a while to set up appointments and stuff for him, and a lot of times they have to like put him under because he doesn't really cooperate with them. Anyways, so yeah, I'm just kind of still chilling out up here, letting him get to sleep and kind of giving him space, because he's not feeling very good. So he just has a lot of health stuff, kidney stuff, and thyroid stuff. And so yeah, anyways, today I did check my pottery, and it's like borderline trimmable, so I think it's gonna be like ready tomorrow for sure. And so I'm gonna plan on getting that done tomorrow. So today, because I'm doing that tomorrow, today is gonna be editing, and I have both a pottery video to edit and this video to edit. And yeah, so that's what we're gonna be doing today. I'm gonna try to get some words in if I can. I'm technically at where I need to be for today to like finish on time, you know, by the end of the month, because I'm at like 51,000 I think right now, and you know my goal is 60. But yeah, and then I did have difficulties with a particular scene. I'm just not really sure how I'm gonna make it work, and how, you know, the end game is gonna happen, I guess. And so yeah, it was a struggle. I have a workable solution right now. I don't know that it'll stay in the book, but at least I have something that I can do for the time being. This might just be a scene that I have to revisit when I'm doing the next draft, but it'll work for now. So I did manage to figure that out yesterday, kind of did some brainstorming with my husband, and then came up with kind of an idea. So yeah, so I'm gonna do some editing for pottery and for this channel, and then maybe get some writing done. everybody, so it is Thursday of the last week of Nano, and so I am going to try really hard to get some words done today. I didn't get any words written yesterday, but I did get both of my videos edited, thumbnails, scheduled, all that jazz. They're all ready to go. And we'll, I even got my patron stuff done. It was like a super productive day for me, like otherwise, but I really didn't get any writing done. I was struggling with writing the scene that I need to write, and I'm still kind of struggling with it, which is odd for me. I don't like, even if I don't like how the scene turns out and I feel like it needs to be rewritten, I usually don't struggle with actually coming up with the scenes or the words and stuff. This scene's hard though because there's things in it that I'm not super passionate about, that I don't relate to, I guess. I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain without giving it all away, but so this is actually Saturday, and I usually don't record on the weekends, but I actually didn't get any video recorded yesterday because of the washing machine and everything. That whole fiasco and trying to get that fixed and stuff, so I wasn't able to really get any writing done till like super late at night. And then I have a harder time recording because I don't want to like wake up my kids and stuff, so I was just gonna like give a quick update and tell you where I'm at. I got my nails done with my mom, super cute little like mermaid scales done on my thumbs, and I'm kind of doing that for my next collection, which I'm going to be kind of launching and talking about on my Instagram on Monday, so you guys so I figure I'll just say it now because you guys won't catch this video till after that. But I am actually doing the Little Mermaid for my next story collection for my pottery, and so I've gotten a lot of requests for it. I've gotten a lot of people who really wanted me to do it. And there's a lot of like classic pieces that people really like buying that are super really good sellers. So yeah, so that's what I'm gonna do next is the Little Mermaid, and yeah, so I'm gonna have mermaid mugs, and I plan on making bubble bump cups. So those are like my bump cups, but they've got like bubbles blown on the outside of them, and then the bubbles pop and kind of leave a cool bubbly residue behind, which is pretty awesome. And also I have another artist that I usually work with, and I make the pieces. It's kind of like an artist collaboration, and I make the pieces and then they paint the octopuses and carve and stuff on the pieces, because octopuses is just not something I can do. So yeah, so I'm really excited about starting that collection, and that's kind of what I'm gonna tease. And so I got my nails done all pretty with my mom, and have like the mermaidy theme going on there because that's what I'm doing next. And yeah, but anyways, as far as writing goes, I actually did get quite a bit of writing done yesterday. So this is kind of a funny story, but if you've been watching my vlogs for Camp Nano, you know that I'm kind of struggling with the story and frustrated with wanting to rewrite it and stuff like that. And so I thought I knew exactly how I wanted this book to end, and that it would be easy for me to like just finish it out and kind of have done for Camp Nano, because that was kind of the whole goal that I made for myself, was to finish this draft. And anyways, I started writing the scene and I just didn't like where it's going, and then I don't know if you guys have ever I don't know if anybody has ever had this happen to you, where you're writing and then it just takes a different turn. It just goes in a different direction. It like you just have ideas kind of pop into your head, and then it leads you somewhere where you never thought of going. And that totally happened. Like the I was kind of struggling with how I wanted them to be able to take back things and to come back from their defeat and things like that. And I was, especially this week, I've just been forcing myself to, I don't know, forcing myself. It's been a push to get the words out. It's been a push for me to keep up with my word count and to feel like I actually liked the scenes. It was really funny because last night I just had it kind of run away from deviate from what I had planned, and I liked it so much more, and I was so excited, and like I feel like this is a better way to go about it. This is a better way for it to happen. So as you can see, we're at 56,724. And I haven't gotten any writing done today because I was busy getting my nails done. But yeah, so I just kind of had this scene come out of nowhere, and some kind of made up for the day before, for not writing as much. And yeah, so I only have about 4,000 words to go to hit the 60,000 that I said. I'm not sure, again, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to finish the book by the end of April, which was kind of the goal, was to finish this draft. But now that I've kind of changed things and the scenes changed, I'm not sure. I do still have 4,000 words, and usually for me a scene is about 1,000 words. Sometimes it's usually like two scenes will be 1,000 words, so I've got about like 4 to 8 more scenes to write to make the 60, which it could be. It could mean that I actually get to the end of this. I don't know. We'll have to see. I'll be pushing right up until the end, which is like, what, tomorrow? Yeah. So I do plan on doing some writing tonight and some writing tomorrow, and I guess we'll see. So this is actually Monday, the day after Nano. So I actually did end up finishing Nano. I ended up getting the 60,000 that I was trying for. And so that's pretty cool. I was excited about that. I did, however, not finish the draft. I still have quite a few scenes to write for the end. And so that was kind of a disappointment because I really wanted to get it done this month. Like I've mentioned before, I don't really have a ton of time in May or June really to do any writing. They're kind of big months for me pottery wise. I have a show coming up in June, and it's a pretty big one for me. I usually make a decent amount so that I have enough. And I'm also doing like the mermaid collection, and that usually tends to sell okay and stuff, so I want to make sure I just want to make sure I have enough pieces and stuff, so I'm going to be making like crazy. I'm also bringing back some clays I don't normally use, which make a lot of mess and take a long time. And anyway, so the point being that, you know, most of May and June are going to be me doing pottery, and I won't have as much time for the writing. And so that was kind of why I was trying to finish the draft in May, was so that I could just set it aside, take a break from it, you know, maybe print off the whole thing and, you know, go through it and read it and kind of see what I want to do and go chapter by chapter and kind of break it down and see what changes I want to make, what scenes I'm keeping, what ones I'm not keeping, and kind of prepare myself for the next. And hopefully, I'm hoping this next draft would be my final draft before going into the editing phase. So yeah, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that. I guess I'm going to be trying to just fit writing in when I can. I know that pottery is going to take a majority of my time though. Generally, when I'm not doing like Camp Nano and setting aside the time, I really only get writing done like maybe like 2 or 3 times a week if I'm lucky. And I don't know. I have half of my, you know, and then like, if you've watched my vlogs, right, you know that I really struggled about halfway through the month to just finish the book. Like, I just want to start over. And I thought that maybe finishing the draft, finishing it all the way through to the end of the book, putting what I wanted down and how I wanted it to end, and then going back through would help. But I don't know. I'm kind of torn between just leaving it like it is, printing it out, going through, editing it, working on what I want to do for the next draft. Because there is a lot that needs to get rewritten. And I do know that because of this, I need a break from it. I really want this next draft that I work on to be the last one. I can't really tell you what I'm going to do. If I'm still going back and forth about whether I'm just going to finish off the draft or I'm just going to print it out as is and start on the next draft. So I'm actually going to be taking 2 weeks off of this writing channel, but I kind of said that at the beginning that this wasn't going to be like a super consistent channel. It's just, you know, it's where I'm at in my life and I kind of just have to accept it. And so yeah, so I will be taking a couple weeks off for that, and I will have another video up, but I can't say when it will be up. So yeah, I want to thank you guys for watching and following my journey on Camp Nano. Worst comes to worst, I do plan on doing Camp Nano in July. I'll probably post videos before then, but worst comes to worst, I will be back in July to do more Camp Nano. But yeah, for now, it is what it is. But we did get words, so that's good, right? We're getting there. We're getting there. And I will see you in a couple weeks.